I've been married to Jiang Yin for 7 years, and she's borrowed my life 99 times. Each time, she took several months and gave all that lifespan to her white moonlight who had cancer. On the 100th time she asked to borrow my life, she requested 5 years. I just want A1 to live a few more years, to accompany him in doing what he wants, she said. Don't worry, I'll compensate you with money afterward. Suddenly, bullet comments appeared. The male lead only has 6 years of life left, and she has the nerve to ask for 5. Even if it's a contractual marriage, treating the male lead this heartlessly is too much. Besides, fine. Once the male lead dies, the female lead will regret it. She's already fallen for him. So, she's already fallen in love with me. Good. I'll give her my life. I'll make her regret it. This time, I'm only borrowing 5 years of your life. Jiang Yin gripped my hand, pressing a dagger against my scarred arm. Are you willing? This was already the 100th time she'd borrowed my life. Every time she borrowed, she had to cut my arm and give my blood to her white moonlight, Han-Wan, to drink. That way, Han-Wan could gain my lifespan. The scars on my arm were all marks from Jiang Yan's past borrowings. Don't agree, male lead. If you lend it, you'll only have 1 year left. The male lead originally had a long lifespan, but the female lead has borrowed it all away. Now the male lead has cancer too, so pitiful. So, I already have cancer. No wonder they said I only had 6 years left. Hurry up and answer, Jiang Yin said impatiently. The dagger on my arm slowly pierced my skin. I'm willing, I said bitterly. Instantly, the bullet comments exploded. The male lead is an idiot. He's about to die, and he's still lending 5 years. What a damn simp. After lending so many times, he still agrees. Can't bear to watch. The male lead should just die already. In their eyes, I'm a simp. But this is revenge. Since Jiang Yin has already fallen for me, and I'm going to die soon anyway, I'll make sure she remembers me for the rest of her life, in agony. Jiang Yin was delighted by my answer. With a swift cut, she drew blood, skillfully catching it in a cup. You're being smart. I'll give you money later. Or if you want something else, I'll grant it. She always said this whenever she borrowed my life. But she never once gave me money. The only time she asked about my wish was a year ago on my birthday. I asked her to spend a day on a date with me. But she coldly replied, that's impossible. I don't love you. I can't go on a date with you. Go money, and don't forget, this is a contractual marriage. If it weren't for your father saving mine and my grandmother forcing me to marry you, I'd never be with you. Yes, she never loved me. 7 years of marriage and not an ounce of affection. The only one she loved was Han-Wan. She took a large cup of my blood and left without hesitation. Every time, it was the same, use me, then discard me without a second thought. Cough, a mouthful of blood suddenly surged from my throat, staining the white floor red. The male lead has esophageal cancer. He's already in the late stages. This disease makes you vomit blood. In the end, he dies horribly, his esophagus blocked by tumors, unable to eat or speak. Stars to death. But right now, I want to see him die, because I want to see the female lead regret it. Yes, I deserve this. If I hadn't loved Jiang Yin so much, willingly lending her my life, I wouldn't be in this state. If I hadn't lent it, I could have lived much longer. I've counted the times Jiang Yin borrowed my life, 100 in total, each time taking months. This time, 5 years. In total, she's taken 22 years of my lifespan. The barrage had mentioned before that if it weren't for me lending out my lifespan, my esophageal cancer wouldn't have progressed to the terminal stage so quickly. Thinking of this, I received a call from Han-Wan. Thank you, Money and GE, for lending me another 5 years of life. I can live 5 more years now, and I could do so many things. If I hadn't lent him my lifespan, he would have died long ago. Speak up, male lead. Fight back. He's really an idiot. I'm so angry I could die. The male lead is like a block of wood. It's not that I don't want to fight back. It's just that I think retaliation is meaningless. After all, Jiang Yin will regret everything she's done to me eventually. Psychological victory is the most effective revenge. Oh, by the way, Jiang Yin said she wants to take me to Weihai for a trip. Do you want to come? The next second, Jiang Yin suddenly said, I only want to go with you. Don't invite him. Once, I had also told Jiang Yin that I wanted to go to Weihai with her. But she had said, that kind of place should be visited with someone you love. I don't love you. After so many years of marriage, I've lost count of how many times she said she doesn't love me. Then I wish you both a pleasant trip. After saying that, I hung up the phone directly. I coughed a few times, and another mouthful of blood spilled out. A sharp pain erupted in my chest. The male lead is finally about to die. Watching this before almost gave me a breast nodule. Right? I don't know what kind of fake author wrote this kind of male lead. But if they had experienced everything I've been through, they'd probably act the same way. Because I can't think of any other way to make Jiang Yin suffer. I just want her to regret it, to remember me for the rest of her life. That's the only way she'll feel pain. I went to the hospital for a checkup. I underwent an endoscopy alone, and the results showed a large tumor near my cardia. The doctor said it was already terminal, with at most a year left. Holding the report, I sat in the hospital corridor utterly devastated. Suddenly, I remembered a time when Jiang Yin had once suggested we go hiking together to see the snow. Unexpectedly, the snowfall was too heavy and we got lost. I happened to have a cold at the time and passed out in the snow. In the end, Jiang Yin dragged me down the mountain step by step. When I woke up, she even said to me, "Let's not go hiking again. It's too dangerous. I don't want you to die." That moment had deeply moved me. I've always remembered that day when she said she didn't want me to die. So I thought that sooner or later she would fall in love with me. But now I'm about to die and I still haven't seen her show any love for me. Though once I'm gone, she'll love me then. "That's great, Awen. I'm pregnant with your baby." A voice suddenly shattered my thoughts. I turned my head and saw Jiang Yin in Han Wen's arms, waiting for the elevator. She was staring at the prenatal checkup report with pure happiness. "Finally, I can leave a child of yours in this world." "Yeah, Yin Yin, I'm so happy." Han Wen kissed her. "But I only have a few years left. I won't be able to stay with you and the child for a lifetime." Hearing this, Jiang Yin froze for a moment before replying, "It's fine. When the time comes, I'll just go borrow more lifespan from Gumanian. His body is strong, and he has a long life ahead of him anyway." At this point, I could no longer hold back and clutch my chest. The pain was just too unbearable. Even though I know she's fallen in love with me, she doesn't realize it yet. In her heart, it's still Han when she thinks of. But she doesn't know I only have 1 year left. And my body isn't as strong as she imagines. Why is the male lead acting so pitiful? He chose to lend out his lifespan himself. Exactly. If it was his own decision, he shouldn't be whining about it now. But then again, the male lead probably couldn't decide any of this. It was all arranged by the author. Right. I've thought about resisting before, but every time I end up agreeing to Jiang Yan's demands without thinking. I'm just a weak NPC. In the final days, there wasn't much I could do anymore. I just wanted Jiang Yan to regret her actions toward me. Leaving the hospital, I tried to hail a cab home, only to find my bank card had been frozen. A call to the bank revealed it was Jiang Yin who had stopped it. All these years with her, the money I earned went to her. The card I used daily was one she provided, so she could freeze at any time. How laughable. She once asked to borrow my life, promising compensation. Now, she froze my account, leaving me without even cab fare. Then, the skies suddenly poured with rain, as if mourning for me. Serves you right. Serves you right. Seeing the male lead suffer is so satisfying. Asterisk, asterisk, dumbass male lead, should have died sooner. Asterisk, asterisk, yeah, I want to die quickly too. Maybe then, I'd be free. Just as I thought that, the rain above me stopped. Turning, I saw Jiang Yin. "Why are you at the hospital alone?" "I happen to be here for a checkup too. Let's go back together." For a moment, I thought I misheard. She rarely spoke to me so gently. "Hurry up, your clothes are soaked." She pulled me along. Once in the car, I noticed Han Wen in the passenger seat, sipping hot milk tea. He handed me a cup. "Yin bought this earlier, Manian. Have some to warm up." I recognized the brand. It was running a promotion online. Buy one, get one free. So, this wasn't bought specifically for me. I don't want any. The female lead is disgusting too. Only nice when she wants to borrow his life. Asterisk, asterisk. She's about to ask him for more life soon. Asterisk, asterisk. This idiot male lead will probably agree again. Asterisk, asterisk, I froze. So, Jiang Yan's sudden kindness was because she wanted to borrow my life again. Of course. I'd heard her mention it earlier. She never cared about my lifespan. How absurd. To her, I was just a life-dispensing tool. Back home, Han Wen left in a cab, leaving only Jiang Yan and me. She sat beside me, voice soft. Gu money in, I want to borrow another 10 years of your life. Instantly, my body stiffened. I never expected her to ask for 10 years this time. Damn, the female lead is ruthless. She's literally draining him dry. Asterisk asterisk, tis the SK. The more she torments him now, the harder she'll regret it later. Asterisk asterisk, male lead don't agree. Asterisk asterisk, you know, Owen is so talented. He has so many dreams, so much he wants to do. I can't bear to see him go so soon. I want him to live another 10 years. Don't worry, this is the last time I'll ask. Huh. Of course it'd be the last time. She knew she'd already taken too much. Fine. I agree. Her face lit up with joy, and she immediately pulled out a dagger to cut my arm. But then, I couldn't hold back. I vomited blood all over her hand. The room fell dead silent. She stared at me in horror. Why are you coughing up blood? He agreed again. One idiot, he'll die soon now. Asterisk asterisk, if he gives it, he won't even last a month. Asterisk asterisk, the 10 years she's borrowing will drain his next life's lifespan too. Asterisk asterisk, reading those words, I coughed up more blood. The pain, my chest burned unbearably. The doctor said esophageal cancer was torturous, but I never imagined it'd hurt this much. I have stomach problems, I lied to Jiang Yan. She exhaled in relief. That was terrifying. You really need to take care of yourself. So, she could still worry about me? Why doesn't the male lead tell the truth? Asterisk asterisk, why hide it? If he told her, she'd definitely regret it. Asterisk asterisk, but now is not the time to tell her. I want to wait until she finds out on her own. That will be the fatal blow. Jiang Yan didn't say anything more, just sliced open my arm with a knife and took a large cup of blood. Then she threw a bank card at me. I'm going on a trip soon, taking A1 to Weihai to relax. There's 300 yuan in the bank card, enough for you for a while. After all, you don't smoke or drink. I froze your previous bank card because I need money for the trip. So it's all for Hanwen again. I stare at the bank card lying on the ground. 300 yuan. How could she be so heartless? TSK. The female lead is really ruthless. Even 300 yuan is all she can offer. I'm laughing my ass off. This female lead is really something else. The male lead is also an idiot, not saying anything. They have the omniscient perspective. Of course they think I'm stupid. If they were in my shoes, they'd be just as miserable. After Jiang Yan and Hanwen left, I saw the post she shared on Weibo. A photo of her and Hanwen. Their lips pressed together in a kiss. The caption, with you, I'm truly happy. I clenched my phone, my heart filled with bitterness. In all the years I've been married to Jiang Yan, she's never been this intimate with me. The only time she held my hand was at our wedding. Sometimes I wonder if marrying her was a mistake. But then I think of the time she was good to me. The time she took care of me when I was sick. And I feel that loving her was the right thing to do. It's tragic, but I think the male lead is really a doormat. I agree. How can he still endure this without saying anything? I ignored these comments, just wanted to follow my heart for the last stretch of my life. In the days that followed, I saw Jiang Yan sharing fragments of her trip with Han, went on Weibo every day. They went to see the snow together, took couple photos, ate meals together. Meanwhile, I stayed home alone, cooking large amounts of food every day. Then I stored it all in the fridge. These were all meals I made for Jiang Yan. After I die, when she eats them, she'll think of me. The comments didn't understand my actions. The female lead treats him like this, yet he still cooks so much for her. That's why I said the male lead is an idiot. His logic is messed up. The male lead should just die already. Seeing him do this annoys me. Don't worry, I'll be dead soon. I went to the hospital again yesterday, and the doctor said I only have half a month left. My body has been wasting away, losing over 10 pounds in just 3 days. I can't keep food down, my body now skeletal. I can only drink liquids, vomiting, and passing blood every day. I actually feel kind of bad for the male lead. The female lead is too cruel, abandoning him like this to have fun with the second male lead. It's fine, the female lead will regret it eventually. Lying on the sofa, I read these comments. Their words gave me some comfort. As long as Jiang Yan regrets it, that's enough. Then, Jiang Yan suddenly called me. Why haven't you been texting me lately? I was surprised she'd asked that. She never cared about my messages before. I used to text her every day, asking if she'd eaten, if she was taking care of herself. She never replied. I've been busy. Busy? She sounded incredulous. Then she suddenly scoffed. Gumunian, you don't even have a job now, just sitting at home all day. What did you possibly be busy with? Did you find someone else? If you did, just tell me. We can get a divorce. The female lead is being tsundere. She just wants to know if the male lead has fallen for someone else. The female lead is slowly starting to care about the male lead. When he dies, she'll regret it. Hurry up and die, male lead. I'm so tired of waiting. Why won't you just die already? Well, I find it laughable. If they had to endure the kind of pain I'm going through, they wouldn't say such things. No, I told Jiang Yan. The only person I've ever loved is you. She's always known that she's the only one I love. Over the years, I've told her this more than once. But every time, she would say, it doesn't matter if you love me, I don't love you. Give up on this idea. I don't fancy someone like you. This time was no different. She said, but the only one I love is A1. Stop thinking about me. Then she hung up the phone without another word. Truthfully, there was one thing I didn't say. That I don't love her anymore. I just want her to suffer and regret after I die. In the following days, Jiang Yan didn't call me again. But then her assistant suddenly came to see me. She said she was here to pick up some work documents for Jiang Yan. Yet the moment she saw me, she froze, her eyes filled with shock. Brother Moonyan, how did you get so thin? It's only been a few days, but your face is sunken in. Yes, I'm nothing but skin and bones now. Because I haven't eaten properly in a week, barely surviving on sips of water each day. It's nothing. How is this nothing? You're in this state, I have to tell Sister Jiang. No. I stop her immediately. Don't tell her. Male lead, what are you still holding on for? You're about to die, yet you still won't tell the female lead. Do you really want her to see your corpse when the time comes? Yes, that's exactly what I want. I want her to see my lifeless body and be consumed by agony. There's no need to tell Jiang Yan. My situation has nothing to do with her, I told her assistant. She looked at me with pity, but eventually nodded. Actually, this assistant was sent by the female lead. She wanted to know what the male lead was up to. I wonder if the assistant will tell the female lead about the male lead's condition. Reading this, I quickly grabbed the assistant's arm. I'm begging you, don't tell Jiang Yan about my health. Okay. Her eyes reddened. I let out a sigh of relief. The next day, I received a call from Jiang Yan. Originally, she was supposed to be on vacation for a month, but now she told me, I'm coming back early. Make a lot of good food tonight. I'm bringing Awen over for dinner. But I can't cook anymore. I don't have the strength. Still, I agreed. Does the male lead just agree to everything the female lead says? He's practically a skeleton, yet he still promises to cook. I'm starting to feel bad for the male lead. He's so pitiful, loving the female lead for so long, only to end up with nothing, even having his life taken away and given to someone else. Just reading this is heartbreaking. Before, they said I deserved it. Now, they say I'm pitiful. So, like Jiang Yan, they only feel sorry for me when I'm about to die. I forced myself to get up and prepare a little food. Then I went to the bedroom to rest. Because I was so desperately tired. Esophageal cancer does this. It makes you drowsy, and if you sleep too much, you might not wake up. Is the male lead trying to sleep himself to death? Exactly. I want to die quickly. Only then can I be free, and Jiang Yan can suffer. But fate is cruelly keeping me alive, refusing to let me go. That night, Jiang Yan returned. I heard her and Han when laughing happily outside the door. A1, I had such a wonderful time on this trip. Once I give birth, I'll divorce Gumun Yin, and then we can have our wedding. Hearing this, an endless pain surged inside me. She's already so eager to abandon me. But it's okay. She'll regret it soon. Hey, where's Gumunian? She was puzzled outside the door. Why did you make so little food? Who's going to eat this? Gumunian, where did you go? Come out and make more for us. Gumunian. I lay on the bed, drowsy and weak, with no strength to respond. I hope the female lead sees the male lead like this soon. She'll definitely be heartbroken. Yes, female lead, hurry into the room. Will she really suffer before I even die? If that's the case, then I want her to see me like this. With a puff, I couldn't hold back and spat out blood, then kept retching. The next second, Jiang Yan pushed the door open violently, just in time to see me leaning over the bed, vomiting blood. Her pupils contracted sharply. What happened to you? She rushed over, grabbing my hand, her voice trembling. I've only been gone for a few days, and you've gotten so thin. What's wrong with you? So, she really does care about me. I wiped the blood from my lips, about to tell her, when suddenly Wen's pained voice came from outside. Ah, it hurt so much. Hearing this, Jiang Yin immediately stood up and left. The female lead still doesn't truly understand the male lead's condition, so she's still more concerned about the second male lead. But it's fine, the grand finale is coming soon. She'll regret it deeply. Is that so? Good. I vomited more blood, my vision blurring as I lay on a bed. The pain in my chest made me writhe until I finally passed out. When I opened my eyes again, I was in a hospital room. The doctor said Jiang Yan's assistant had brought me in and told me I didn't have long to live. You've already gotten this thin. You need chemotherapy immediately to see if we can prolong your life. No need, doctor. I won't be treated. I knew it wouldn't help, and I had no money left anyway. The male lead is so pitiful, woo-woo. Yet the female lead is still taking care of the second male lead. Can't she see he's faking it? I want to beat that second male lead to death. They finally spoke up for me, but only when I was about to die. So, is death the only way to earn someone's pity? Just then, a nurse came in, chatting. Did you hear? A perfectly healthy patient just arrived, but his wife demanded the best room for him. Yeah, I heard. That's Jiang Yin, the eldest daughter of the Jiang family. And that man isn't even her husband. It's her first love. They say she doesn't love her real husband because it's a contractual marriage. So many people knew Jiang Yin didn't love me. That's why I was so desperate for her to realize she did and regret it. Before long, Jiang Yin came to see me. Frowning, she asked, "What's wrong with you? Why are you so thin?" The doctor looked puzzled. "Are you his wife?" "Yeah," Jiang Yin answered indifferently. "What's wrong with him?" "Your husband has esophageal cancer. He only has a few days left." The doctor's words froze Jiang Yan's expression. Disbelief flashed in her eyes. "What did you say? Esophageal cancer? Your husband was diagnosed a long time ago. It's terminal and the tumor is malignant. There's no cure." Asterisk thud. Asterisk Jiang Yan's phone fell to the floor. She looked at me, tears welling in her eyes. How did this happen? Weren't you fine before? The female lead is finally going to regret it. Damn, I finally feel a little better. Once the male lead dies, she'll be in agony, right? Good. That's exactly what I want, for her to suffer. Doctor, tell me, is there any way to save him? Jiang Yin grabbed the doctor's hand. The doctor shook his head helplessly. It's no use. Spend more time with him. After the doctor left, Jiang Yan's tears fell as she walked step by step toward me. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Then I wouldn't have borrowed your life. Would you have believed me if I told you back then? I replied coldly. She froze, seemingly not expecting me to say that. If you had kept insisting, I would have treated you then. But you don't love me. You're not my real wife. The only one you love is One. I didn't want to trouble you. As I finished speaking, her tears fell onto my arm. She saw the dense scars covering it. Suddenly, she cried even harder, her lips parting as if to say something, but in the end, nothing came out. I finally understand why the male lead didn't tell the female lead about his illness earlier. He wanted her to regret it. Though this kind of moral victory isn't worth advocating, seeing the female lead regret it is really satisfying. The male lead is going to die anyway, so there's nothing wrong with him using this method. Yes, I just wanted Jiang Yin to feel guilty for the rest of her life after I'm gone. After all, she hurt me too much. I hate her. The next day, Jiang Yin bought me a lot of delicious food. She even fed me herself. With a smile, she said, "Eat more." The doctor said you need to replenish your nutrition now. But after one bite, I immediately vomited. My tumor was too large. I could no longer swallow food. Seeing this, she cried again. How did it get so bad so suddenly? If you had told me earlier, it could have been cured. But even if I had told you earlier, it wouldn't have mattered. I looked up at her. Do you know, Jiang Yin? It's because you borrowed my life that I developed esophageal cancer so early that I'm dying so soon. My lifespan was already exhausted by you. The cancer I was supposed to get at 70 has been pushed to now. This was all revealed to me by the bullet comments earlier. If Jiang Yin hadn't taken my life, I wouldn't be like this. Hearing my words, Jiang Yin froze completely, her eyes filled with guilt. I'm sorry. I was shocked. She actually apologized to me. After all, the old her had never once apologized. No matter what she did wrong, never. It's my fault. I thought you were healthy, so I borrowed your life. I'm sorry, Gumanian. I'll go find Hanwon right now and return your life to you. But it's no use. I said softly. Someone who has lent out their life can't take it back from others. I'm beyond saving. I'll die soon. Instantly, she covered her mouth and sobbed, her whole body trembling. This feels so satisfying. She must be full of regret now. Of course. But right now it's just pain. Once the male lead dies, she'll be in so much agony she'll want to die. All the harm she caused it before will come back like a boomerang and pierce her heart. The person I loved most in this life was Jiang Yin, and the one I hated most was also her. So after I die, I want her to suffer. Gumanian, I'll find a way to save you. Jiang Yin gripped my hand tightly, her gaze resolute. Let's go to another hospital. She quickly took me to other hospitals, but everyone said there was no hope. My tumor was simply too large. Even if Hua Tuo were alive today, I couldn't be saved. At that, she collapsed, her legs giving way as she crumpled to the floor. She begged the doctors desperately to save me. I just sat there, watching her plead for me. In my mind, all I could see was her cold, heartless expression when she had asked to borrow my life. She had believed my life should rightfully go to Hanwon. Jiang Yin, you're the one who did this to me. I spoke abruptly. She immediately crawled in front of me, crying and saying she was sorry. I was wrong. I made a mistake. It was all Hanwen's fault. It was because he encouraged me that I came to borrow your life. I'll go get him to apologize to you right now. Soon, she brought Hanwen before me and forced him to kneel and apologize. But Hanwen refused, pushing Jiang Yin away with a cold laugh. This isn't my fault. I just said I wanted to live, and you were the one who went to borrow his life. Jiang Yin, the one who caused Gu Money and to end up like this is you. Instantly, Jiang Yin lost all her strength. Her face turned pale. No, I didn't mean to. The female lead is now filled with regret. Serves her right for treating the male lead like that before. Finally unclogged my anger, feels good. I hope the female lead regrets even more. But the resentment in my heart wasn't eased. Even seeing Jiang Yin so remorseful, I still hated her deeply. I wanted to say, just because she didn't love me before, did that give her the right to hurt me so freely? Money Yin, I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? She came before me, tightly gripping my hand. I had fantasized countless times about her regretting her actions toward me. But she never did before. Now that she regrets it, it's too late. Jiang Yin, I don't love you anymore. So I won't forgive you. I'll push your hand away. I'll never forget how you cut my arm again and again for Hanwon. How you borrowed my lifespan time after time. I even heard you say you were pregnant with Hanwon's child. Jiang Yin, if you love Hanwon so much, why didn't you divorce me? She froze. After a long silence, she choked out, I'm sorry. I just couldn't bear to let you go before. At that time, I thought I loved Hanwon, but I couldn't bear to part with you, so I didn't divorce you. After traveling, I kept thinking about you, why you didn't message me, whether you still loved me. That's when I realized I loved you deeply. When I found out you were sick, I was in so much pain. Only then did I understand that the one I've loved all these years was you. I just didn't realize it before. Hearing her say these things didn't make me happy at all. Her realization came too late. Loving me is useless because I don't love you anymore. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. She looked utterly devastated. In the following days, my condition worsened. The tumor made it impossible for me to speak, and I grew even thinner. The comments were heartbroken. So pitiful. This kind of cancer is truly torturous. Where's the female lead? She should be apologizing to the male lead, kowtowing nonstop. The next moment, Jiang Yin pushed the door open, followed by a foreign doctor. She tearfully begged the doctor to save me, but after looking at my endoscopy report, he shook his head. Bang! Jiang Yin kicked over a chair in anger. Quacks, you're all quacks. Get out, all of you. After the doctor left, she looked at me and cried again. Money Yin, I truly regret how I treated you before. I feel like fate is too cruel. Why did I only realize I love you after you got cancer? Every day is agony. Remembering how I treated you, I hate myself. If I hadn't borrowed your lifespan, maybe you wouldn't be dying so soon. Exactly. I looked at her and wrote on a piece of paper. I've always told you, you're the reason I'm like this now. Overcome with guilt, she suddenly pulled out a fruit knife. Let me give you my lifespan, okay? I gave a bitter smile and quickly wrote, Jiang Yin, you know I can't accept anyone else's lifespan now. Don't you think this act of yours is hypocritical and disgusting? I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. If I could really give you my lifespan, I would choose to give all of mine to you, she said through tears. Then why didn't you use your own lifespan when Hanwen was sick? She froze. I was just afraid to die. I didn't want to give him my lifespan. But I want to give it to you, because the one I truly love is you. The female lead genuinely loves the male lead now. She's completely awakened. But late regret is worthless. Hope the female lead suffers a miserable fate. I no longer wanted to talk to Jiang Yin, because I had no strength left. I felt like I was about to die. I set down the pen and stared at the ceiling. Jiang Yin rushed over, clutching me tightly, sobbing uncontrollably. Please don't leave me. I can't live without you. Moon Yin, we haven't even had a good life together yet. We haven't gone to Weihai for our trip. Listening to her words, my eyes slowly closed. Once, all I wanted was to live well with her, to travel with her. But now, it wasn't needed anymore. The male lead is dead. The female lead is about to break down. The female lead will eventually collapse and commit suicide. This was the last barrage I saw. I thought to myself, asterisk heaven, make Jiang Yin remember me for the rest of her life. Asterisk, asterisk, I want her to suffer in agony forever. Asterisk then, I completely lost consciousness. Jiang Yin side story, Jiang Yin held Gu Moon Yin's body, wailing in utter despair. Moon Yin, don't scare me. Please, wake up. Please. Her heart was filled with hopelessness. She had never felt such pain before. She used to think she didn't love Gu Moon Yin, but after he was gone, her heart shattered. The thought that Gu Moon Yin would no longer exist in this world, that she would never hear his voice again, it made her want to die from the pain. Eventually, the doctors came and took Gu Moon Yin's body away. Jiang Yin followed, crying the entire time. Her voice grew hoarse from weeping, her heart drowning in endless regret. Regret for taking Moon Yin's lifespan. Regret for treating him so poorly before. I'm sorry, Moon Yin. Jiang Yin collapsed to the ground, crying out in grief. 3 days later was Gu Moon Yin's funeral. Jiang Yin carried his ashes home. Her assistant came to her and said, Jiang Jia, I actually knew Moon Yin Ji was sick for a while. He begged me not to tell you. He probably didn't want you to worry. The word stabbed into Jiang Yan's heart like a knife. Tears fell again. She still couldn't believe that the man who had loved her so deeply was just gone. Suddenly, she dropped to her knees, repeating, I'm sorry, over and over. After the funeral, Jiang Yin drifted through each day in a daze, refusing to eat. One day, she opened a fridge to find something to eat. But inside, she found meals Moon Yin had prepared for her. Each container had a sticky note on it. You love tomato beef stew the most, so I made some. But I couldn't make much because beef is expensive, and you only gave me 300 yuan, not enough to buy more. You also like wasabi shrimp, but I could only make a little of everything because the money wasn't enough. Jiang Yin, I hope you'll still eat well after I'm gone. With a thud, Jiang Yan's vision darkened as she collapsed to the floor. Clutching her chest, she burst into loud, heart-wrenching sobs. Before, she had thought spending money on Moon Yin was a waste. So, she froze his card and only gave him 300 yuan. Yet he used every bit of that money to buy groceries and cook for her. She had wronged Moon Yin. Wronged someone so good to her. Then, suddenly, barrage comments appear before her eyes. Female lead. It's all your fault for taking the male lead's lifespan. That's why he died. The female lead is disgusting. The male lead treated her so well, yet she fooled around with the second male lead. The barrage kept going, each word like a knife twisting in Jiang Yan's heart. She regretted it all, so much that her chest ached with the pain. Then she went to find Hanwen and stabbed him to death. It's all your fault. If you hadn't egged me on, my husband wouldn't have died, she cried as she spoke. In the end, she jumped off a building and took her own life. At the last moment, she saw a barrage comment. Jiang Yin, I will never forgive you for all eternity. The end.